Small, medium and micro enterprises have the potential to turn the fortunes of an economy around, and it's for that reason that there's been a call for SMMEs in the private sector to be given greater support. Well, tomorrow an SMME seminar kicks off. It will seek to tool entrepreneurs with the necessary information to try and succeed in an often competitive environment. Well, to tell us more about this, I'm joined in studio by Ntombi Ngwenya. She's an accomplished executive in both the private and public sector and has many academic accolades to her name. Thanks very much for joining us, Ntombi.
Thank you for having me, Ms. Mpumi.
Good stuff. Now, how important are issues like keeping yourself and those around you skilled for a small business?
Thank you. It's very critical to have a skilled force as an enterprise. Having to establish a business, it is important to have a team of expertise so that when opportunity arises, you are able to deploy the team that has got expertise in that respective space. So it's very, very critical. And SMME, you cannot afford to start a business without having to do a soul search in saying, in the respective industry that you'll be participating at, what skill set am I bringing on the table? So that is very critical.
In terms of the SMME seminar that's taking place tomorrow,
yes,
what sort of tools and sort of things are you going to be teaching people about to better equip them for their business?
Thank you. Tomorrow's seminar is a 3-hour seminar that is sponsored by 3 companies. And the topic that we've chosen was expand and sustain your business growth. It was based on the research being done. And again, from us as executive and having experience in the industry, you're asking ourselves, why this topic? The business world is changing. And as such, as SMMEs, it is critical to adapt. When you look at how we do business in terms of technology, technology has advanced tenfold. So as a business, you've got to be ready. You adapt or you die in business. When you look at the business, you need to be innovative, because by being innovative, you are able to have different income streams in your business so that you can be able to grow. So tomorrow's event, it seeks to support the SMMEs with the tools that are required. That says, when you're expanding the business, why are you expanding the business? We'll be looking at the why. What is it that is required for me to expand the business, and when can I expand the business? So we're providing, because it's a 3-hour seminar, we're providing them with the tools in saying, look at the expansion plan. Look at the team that you have, because it's critical to have experienced team that will be able to execute. And look at your balance sheet, because by expanding, it is very critical to look at the balance sheet. That is the financial health of the business. You are ensuring that you are healthy financially so that when the business opportunity comes, you are ready. So it seeks to address all those challenges that are faced by SMMEs in saying, let us equip you in the business arena so that you are ready. But again, looking at the expansion, there's also another colleague who will also be presenting, Manu Chaba Advisory, who is a former prosecutor. He'll also be talking about negotiations, because mostly SMMEs are unable to negotiate. Because remember, being in business, it's all about sales. Therefore, it is very, very important that you have negotiation skills. When you go and procure for goods and services, you are readily available. You are not procuring an item at a premium. You can still be able to negotiate.
Indeed,
yes,
indeed.
Yes.
Now, you know, there's always a danger when we have these conversations for umama or buti watching at home who's running a small business, you know, for the language to get over their head. We talk about business innovation and things like that. If we apply it to a situation where someone's running a motor mechanic firm or someone's running a dry cleaning firm, how can they bring innovation to their business, for example? And also be cognizant of things like technology in their business?
In that space, because we are really not in that motor space, but what we do, because we've got strategic partners, we'll be able to bring partners in saying, this, from our side, obviously we look at the compliance issues. we'd look at the funding mechanism, but on the technicalities, we'll then bring those who have worked in the motor industry to say, come and assist us. Therefore, at the end of these, I would call it an incubation program, we'll be able to say, we've started by looking at your books where you are lacking in terms of the compliance, because each and every industry, being in motor industry, you've got to understand the requirements that are there, which is compliance. Also the competition in terms of the pricing and also the funding. Therefore, it is important that if for a company you are not conversant with that particular industry, you can rope in those who have been exposed in that area so that they can come in and impart their knowledge into that space.
We've had a small business ministry for a number of years now. Do you think it's done enough work? And you've got this 3-hour seminar. Those who are privileged will get to go. But for a lot of people around the country, they don't have access to these type of resources. I know that's kind of two questions.
Yes. I fully agree. Let's look at the small business. A lot has been done. A lot it still needs to be done. Because I remember from our side as Bambulunya Investment, we've once responded to an opportunity that arose from the ministry, but there was lack of communication. So which tells that there is a demand and they're probably overwhelmed, they don't have enough capacity. I myself come from a local government. I know the hard work that comes in working for the organ of state, but there's a lot that still needs to be done in terms of communicating, particularly maybe establishing an SMME development unit where this particular unit is solely looking at empowering. Now, talking about access in terms of technology for the ones, because particularly our seminar, it was through the registration on QuickEd, which meant it required that as an SMME, I need to have access to technology. We've made it free so that we are alleviating that financial burden of paying. Hence, it is free, but you then need to make an effort. It is important as SMME, you know the notion that says, for you to make money, you need to have money. So unfortunately, those are the dynamics that says, if you've decided to be in business, you've got to plan ahead.
Very quickly, where is it happening and where can people try and buy tickets?
The seminar will be held at Joburg Theatre. You register online where the ticket is free. We have targeted for 50. As we sit, we are at 78 of the registration of the SMMEs. There's only 2 seats available. So for the one who's listening, we urge you to go on QuickEd, register online. It's a seamless process to register. It takes less than 5 minutes.
All right.
Then you'll be able to join us.
Thank you so much, Sis Ntombi, for your time. That was Ntombi Ngwenya. She's an accomplished executive in both the private and public sector spaces and will be very instrumental in running this SMME seminar happening tomorrow.